to him, and I hear him talk to his teammates and said, yeah, I pushed him. I didn't have anything to lose. So here, let me introduce to you Danny Peoples. That's the way it happened too, right?
No, I did not push off. Harvey, come on up here. Now, the extension of that story, that was my sophomore year. My junior year, we came here to play. We got off the bus, and at the top of the stadium, I wore number 8, at the top of the stadium, hanging from a noose, was a mannequin with number 8 on it. And every time I caught the ball, all I heard the defense saying was, hold him up. And every time I caught the ball, I went straight to the ground. The genesis story of Coach Frye in college is Harvey McSwain, myself, and the rest of our NC State crew. What's the saying that you all say now? If it's to be, it's up to me. That was not the saying at NC State. The saying at NC State, and I have to put some blame on my upperclassman teammate, coming from Douglas Byrd High School, they had a previous sprint coach. This is my freshman year, so we literally grew up together. My freshman year, they were giving Coach Frye a fit about workouts. And maybe 3-4 weeks into the season, the new saying, well, the saying became, it's Frye or the highway. That was the transformation of his time at NC State. We went on to win the 4x1 relay. I was a freshman, Harvey was a junior. And from that point forward, Coach Frye, the legend of Coach Frye began. I'm gonna let Harvey say something.
Yes, when we first met, our relationship was like that old Clint Eastwood movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Me and Coach Frye, we always had back and forth about workouts all the time. So even after we had won the 4x1 national championship, we was getting ready to head back home, and me and him got into it about the travel plans. So he was like, you can pack your But, you know, Coach Frye's a great man, great friend, and I love him. And he has taught me a lot of life lessons, and I've become a better man because of this man right here. So I'll say, love you, and thank you for all the things that you have instilled in me.
And I want to say that Coach Frye believed more in me than I did in myself in the beginning. Harvey was someone I looked up to in high school. But as a freshman, Coach Frye kept pouring into me. Now, he did trick me at the NCAA meet. And he might not tell you guys this, but in the trials, the former coach that was the sprint coach that was at State, he came up to me after and said, Coach Jones said that was the worst third leg he'd ever seen anybody run in the NCAA meet. So he knew how to push my buttons. So in the finals, I had to make sure that wasn't the case. And then after the finals were over, we won victorious. I said, I'm going to go find Coach Jones and see what he had to say. He said, don't do that. He didn't really say that. So he knew how to push my buttons. And I have to say 9 All-Americans later, as a part-time track runner, because I was on football scholarship, we made magic together. And I have to say he was an uncle, a brother, a father, a mentor. And I know how old I am now because his kids that are doctors and were that small at that point in time. Now, the star of my story is his wife, Wilma, who got me my first job at the bank, at BB&T Bank. Right, because I had obligations I needed to take care of that were conflicting, and she got me my first job at the bank, which I'm honestly saying when I graduated from college and got out of the NFL, that foundation was very beneficial to me. So I owe a lot to the family, not so much just Coach Frye, but to the Frye family overall. And it is a pleasure to know you and look forward to continue as you retire And I know everybody here knows he's got to be one of the funniest human beings I've ever met in my life. He keeps everything going and keeps everything moving. And we used to just like to sit around him at the track meet because he made us laugh all the time. Coach Frye, thank you. And I did not push off.
Okay, I got the videotape still. All right, thank you very much. Next, we are going to hear from Dion Bentley, was the University of Florida's first high school national record holder and went on to become an 8-time NCAA All-American and SEC champion, Dion Bentley.
Good evening, everybody. Man, when I look out into the crowd, it's like, wow, Coach, you look at the impact you've done. Oh my goodness. I mean, everyone's here for you. As I said, Coach coached me back in the late 80s, early 90s at the University of Florida, and I'm just honored to have the opportunity here to speak on behalf of some of my fellow Gators. As I said, I look out into the crowd, I see Olympians, I see national champions, conference champions, All-Americans, and just all-around winners. That's what this man produces. He produces winners, not only on the track, but in life. I mean, so give yourselves a round of applause. Man, all I can say is the title of coach. That's a title that's a serious title, because not only have you coached us to our dreams on the track, but you also mentored us in so many different ways that when I look out here, all these people that have so much love for you, that's why, because we all share a common relationship. And how important Coach Frye and Miss Wilma Frye is, who I've always, and like a lot of people here, that's always been Mama Frye. The idea of family that the Fryes, they just invited us in. I remember when you came up to a recruiting visit up in my house, and y'all know I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and this country dude came up talking some country stuff, and my mom and dad, they just fell in love with him, and I did too. And I mean, because everybody knows he's funny, he's just the happiest, nicest, oh my goodness. So that he just carried that around down once we got to Florida, and we had a great group of people. And I had a great father. So I didn't necessarily need a father, a father figure. I needed a father feeling. Because you go 1,000 miles from home and you miss your family, and that's where Coach and Mama Frye filled in for us. Those weekends whenever the cafeteria would have some nasty food, he would invite us on over, come and get us in that old Astro van, but it was slick though. It had that silver, y'all know that silver Astro van had the moon roof, and the guys would load up in there, and Mama Frye would have us some food, and we just, man, those times were just amazing. I could go on forever about all the great accomplishments. Y'all can Google that. I mean, this man got a list of accomplishments as long as the days are. But as I said, he's just an amazing man. And I just want to tell you personally how much we appreciate you. And I'm gonna end on the one thing. I know he's got all these nice sayings when he goes to the other colleges. The saying that he had with us was, "Don't put no salt in my soup when you're training." so don't put salt in your soup, everybody. And thank you very much, Coach. I love you.
All right, thank you. Now, in covering Coach Frye over the years, sometimes he'd call me up and he'd say, "Hey, Rick, I got so-and-so training." He wasn't just a coach to the USC athletes, but you'd have athletes come from all over the country, and that let me know, man, this dude is something special. And we're going to hear from one of those folks now, Mr. Alan Johnson. He was the first University of North Carolina Olympic gold medalist, and Coach Frye's first Olympic gold medalist, and he spent a lot of time here in Columbia training. Alan Johnson.
How's everybody doing? Well, what can I say that hasn't been said? Probably not a lot. My first Coach Frye story. So, I was a senior at the University of North Carolina. The previous sprint coach left. They hired this new guy, Curtis Frye. That fall, I wasn't in school because I had some other obligations that I had to take care of. That's 31 years old now. And I remember the first time he called me, he said, hey, I need you to come down to the office. And I'm saying, man, what does this guy want with me? And he talked to me. He talked to me, and he talked me through the situation I was in. And he let me know that everything was going to be all right. And it was one of the first times that I had a coach really talk to me as a man about real life things. Fast forward to springtime, we do track season with the indoor NCAA championships. Coach Brown, Kevin Brown, and we both went to the University of North Carolina, so we were roommates on the road, roommates at home. So we're at NCAA's. Coach Frye calls us in the morning and says, hey, you guys need to come down for breakfast. I look over at Kevin, I say, man, we don't do that here. I'm going back to sleep. So we went back to sleep. 10 minutes later, I kid you not, he kicked the door in. I don't know how he did it because I thought the door was closed, but he literally kicked the door in. Y'all get your butts down there to breakfast. So we grabbed our stuff, went down there to breakfast. But, I mean, that's who Coach Frye is. That's who Coach Frye was. He laid down the law, but he was right. And he always told us, everything he told us was the best thing in his heart. And that's why all of us are here today. Because Coach Frye, even when we didn't want to do things, you had our best interest at heart. You always looked out for us. You were the first person that had me really believe in myself. I always had goals of going to the Olympic Games, but you were the first person to talk about it as it was just going to be. We're going to practice hard. We're going to go to nationals. We're going to place. After that, we're going to go to the Olympic trials. We're going to go to the Olympics, and we're going to win. And that's the thing that he brought here to the University of South Carolina. Again, I'll never forget, we were getting ready for the Olympic Games, 1996. And we were on the track warming up the day before the first round. And he says, hey, you ready to go to Columbia, South Carolina? And I'm saying, man, I guess. You say so. But then we get here and supposed to have a new track in about 4 or 5 years. Track just got laid in 2017. That was 1996. I think it's more than 5 years. But he brought that same winning attitude here. And he found a way. I mean, I remember the Barber twins coming on visits. I remember Terrence Trammell. Those were some of the first time really, really big time athletes to come here. He's the first person to win a national championship for this university. There's only one first. And that's Coach Frye. But like everybody said, thank you so much for everything. Everything. But more than that, thank you, Mrs. Frye. Thank you, Cottrell. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Crystal. Because you guys put up with a lot. You guys put up with all the hours. I remember times we'd be out at the track, 8, 9 o'clock, and he's saying, Wilma's calling me, I gotta go home. Hold on a second. So there was a lot of times that he poured into all of us and helped us be who we are today. And thank you guys. Thank you guys for allowing us to have a piece of your day. And with that, Coach Frye, enjoy.
All right, thank you, Alan. One thing I've really enjoyed over the years working with Coach Frye is that he'd have so many athletes training for the Olympics. We'd go out and do stories on them before, while they were getting ready for the Olympics. And then when the Olympics come and you see someone that you know personally running for the gold. And Alan was one of them. And our next speaker is also one of those athletes, Terrence Trammell. He was the first NCAA athlete to win the 60 meters and 60-meter hurdles in the same meet while he was at USC. He set NCAA records in both events. He's a 5-time NCAA national champion, a 2-time Olympic silver medalist, and a 3-time, well, he has 3 world championship medals. Let's give Terrence Trammell a nice welcome.
So I was told I was supposed to be 2 minutes. I don't know how in the world I can cram all the stuff we did together in 2 minutes. When I was in high school, back in Decatur, Coach Frye recruited me heavily. I was one of the top athletes in the country in the 110 hurdles and in the 300-meter hurdles. And so I told Coach Frye that I wanted to run the 100 meters and the 110 hurdles. And that's something that's very rare. And I remember one time while Coach was recruiting me, he said, Terrence, what do you think about the 400 hurdles? I said, Coach Frye, I don't think about the 400 hurdles. So we set out on a task for me to do the sprint hurdle double. And I think it went pretty well. 8 SEC titles, 6 national titles, 13-time All-American, National Athlete of the Year twice, an Olympic silver medal while a junior year, and then a world champion the very next year. One thing that Coach Frye did, he gave me exposure at an early age. He wasn't afraid to put me in the fire with some of the elite athletes of the world. My freshman year, at 19 years old, I was in Boston, ran the indoor meet against guys that had just run and were victimized by Allen at the World Championships just the year before, and I win the meet. Shocked everybody, even myself. But we did a lot of things like that. And, you know, there were a couple of bumps in the road, we were figuring things out, but in the end, it worked out to be the best. Even now, he's been instrumental in me being a collegiate coach. And so now I'm up there at NCA&T with Allen, and we're putting together a program, and it's because of his influence. And so at the track meets, I find the Gamecock tent, and I sit under there, and I talk with him, because it's like coming home for the moment. So Tim, I don't know if you're here. If you see me in the Gamecock tent, I'm not trying to steal your athletes. I'm just coming home for a minute, all right? Coach, please accept these flowers we're giving you while you're here to enjoy them. I love you. I appreciate you. No matter what's on my chest, what's in my heart is garnered in black. It's because of you.
All right, Mr. Terrence Trammell, everyone. We're going to hear from another former USC athlete, Natasha Hastings, a 5-time gold medalist, 13-time All-American, first Gamecock to win 4 SEC championships in one, is that One meet? 1 year? 1 meet. 4 SEC championships in 1 meet. Natasha Hastings.
Good evening. I'm not sure where to begin. Coach Frye likes to say I was his headache. We did incredible things together, but I knew since the freshman year of high school that I wanted to be a Gamecock. And Coach Frye waited till July 1st when he could make the phone call. He was the first phone call. He came down to Trinidad while I was on family vacation for my recruiting visit. I gave no clue, no hint that I want to come to the University of South Carolina. I made him sweat. I went on the rest of my visits. And then I finally signed and said, I'm coming to be a Gamecock. Coach Frye had the gift of, as everyone has said before me, of believing in us more than we believed in ourselves. We used to joke on the team, actually. Coach Frye used to give us some speeches. I remember my sophomore year. I was injured. I was not in shape. I had just come back maybe a few weeks before SECs, and Coach Frye gave me a speech that I got out there on the track, and I thought I was going to be SEC champion. The first 300 meters, it looked like I was. And then we won't talk about what happened after that. But no, I remember my junior year, which was the year that Coach Frye, we made history together. I have to also say, there was a time during my junior year that I made a call to Coach Frye, and Coach Frye made a call that not many people made during that time, and I had my first introduction to mental health. You know, it wasn't just about my performance on the track, but it was making sure that I was okay as a person as well. And I thank you for that. But we went on to do some things that year that I was like, Coach Frye, you are absolutely crazy. There's no way. What was it? Regionals in Florida, where Coach Frye had me in the 4x1, the 4x4, the 400, and the 200. And the 400 final was 45 minutes before the 200 final. And I said, Coach Frye, why would you do this to me? I can't do this. This is too much. I don't remember, what did we run, 50.3 or something? And I remember standing on the line for the 200, and I remember, I can still feel my heart beating right now. And Coach Frye, if it's to be, you can hear that from anywhere in the stadium. 45 minutes, 22:61. We set 2 stadium records in 45 minutes. And then we went on to be the first collegiate to run under 50 point in the 400. So when you talk about Coach Frye and Gamecock Athletics, first national title to the school, put some respect on his name. I want to also say thank you, because you afforded me the opportunity, not only for 1 degree, but towards the end of my career, for you to make a phone call and say, hey, I hear you want to go back to school. So now I have 2 degrees from the University of South Carolina, thanks to Coach Frye. Again, over the years, my mom is here. My mom made sure that she made the trip to be here. There were many phone calls to my mom when I wasn't necessarily cooperating, because like I said, Coach Frye saw the vision more than I did. But we know that it was all in love, and I appreciate you. I appreciate the Frye family, because we spent many long trips away. Christmas, Coach Frye, I'm in town. Can we go to practice? I know you didn't like that, but he came out for us to go put that work in. But like Terrence and Alan said, we give you your flowers now. We celebrate you. No one is more deserving of this. all of these people here is a testament of the lives that you've touched over the year, and I thank you so much.
So what's tremendous tributes. Let's give all of our speakers a nice big round of applause. And right now I'm going to turn it over to the Frye kids, CJ and Kurtrell.
Well, she's a brick, dun, 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 house. Cleopatra, Helen of Troy, all of Wilma Rudolph, all of the great women in this world cannot compare to my mother. Okay? You do not have a man like Coach Curtis Frye without a woman like Wilma Frye. Yes. Put some respect on her name. Every diaper, every piece of clothing, everything my mother has done. And then she would go to the track and we'd bring us all along with her to make sure that she was doing what was great for us and also what my father needed. A woman with this level of fortitude is to be admired, and she's someone who I just reach to every day to be the best person that I can be. Now, the truth of the matter is, and Daddy told me not to say it, but I'm gonna say it. The real coach, the one who always has to have excellence at everything that has to be done, the one who believes that anybody and everybody can do their best is Wilma Frye. The truth of the matter is that he knew that he was going to have to come home to Wilma, to my mother. And if he did not give y'all what y'all needed, then he was going to have to answer to her. Okay? If she went to a track meet and she saw that you missed something, you didn't do something, something was not quite right, he was going to have to answer to Wilma, to my mother, because she doesn't just love us. She loves with her whole heart all of you. All of you. All of you. And to have that amount of love in your heart is something that, and it always replenishes itself, is something that I find amazing. I draw strength from, and I just cannot even believe how much energy this woman has, because not only did she do that for you guys, but she still found a way to go to all of our wrestling championships, all of our football games, all of my track meets, all of your track meets. I don't even understand how she had enough time in the day. I have 3 kids now, and I have no understanding. I have no understanding of how you did it. I'm just amazed that I got to walk and watch you my entire life. And if you see the man that he is, then he can't be that man without this woman. Please, once again, just give her her flowers.
And I'm not here to top that at all, because I believe the same thing. It didn't matter if we were competing, throwing newspapers out of a Subaru, or if we were, or if we got close to beating her in horse, look, she'll bring you back out just to beat you one more time. She is 100% the greatest competitor I've ever met in my life, and she 100% is Coach Frye. She, like I said, took a team down in Gainesville, Florida, to the national championships and made more Division I athletes in her time period as a track coach, as a basketball coach, as a wrestling coach, she wears the crown of all coaching. I'm so glad that she got the COVID warm-up of being able to be in a household with this man for that time period where COVID was going on, because you begged for this man to be retired, and guess what, mama, you got him. You're going to have to babysit a 72-year-old baby for the rest of his day, and I am so happy that you get your dream, and you get to go off, and you get to go on your vacations, and you get to go travel the world, and I get to walk over in the house and hear you yelling at him, and I'm so happy that you get 100% of everything you wanted with this man being retired. And with all that being said, I'd like to bring my mother up, the real Coach Frye. And thank everybody for standing up for my mom. Oh, ain't that wonderful? Oh, the first, that's so great. Oh, the first standing ovation for Coach Frye.
I'm speechless. But listen, what they did not know is Coach Frye, there was a thing called the telephone. I would call him to get all the things and how to do this coaching and to get it done was from Coach Frye. So we worked, very well together. And I really appreciate this man. I guess I'm going to say mine now. It's been an incredible journey, and yes, there was long hours. Track and field is 24/7, y'all. And he used to come home, and I was going like, "Well, what did they do? And tell me, he just wanted a bed at that point. Then we'll talk tomorrow or whatever." But now that, as the kids grew up, I went on the meets with him. All I wanted to do was go to bed. I would be so drained because you're out there from 9 to sometime 11 and 12 o'clock at night competing if the weather caused the delays or whatever. So I want to admire you. This man set goals. He believed in himself. He has given me so much confidence and whatever, because he does. He believed in himself. He believes, and when he believes, he'll tell you, and you better believe him, because he's had the experience of knowing that when he sees an athlete, and he can tell you, he can pretty much, he's been in it forever, he can tell you, you better believe it, and go in and do it, and most of you have, and you do see that that did happen. So, baby, I want to tell you, he has many names, but I call him Dad, he calls me Mom, and the reason why is these children here would start saying Wilma and Kurt if we called each other. So I'm still saying Mom, Dad, and he'll still say Mom, Mama, just so that and we're still doing it after 49 years. I do want to say this, like someone pointed out, it's our birthday coming up next week. This is the October time. I have the same birthday, he has the same birthday. It's our anniversary, 49 years. And those stand-up twins, these are our twins. We had these twins on our birthday. And I want to say, so I asked my husband, what are we going to do? Because we gave him a party on his birthday, 70th birthday, and it's my 70th coming up next week. He says, about 6 months ago, he said, what do you want to do? And I says, I want to cruise, and I don't want to take the team. I love you guys. I'm 100,000. I'm mother to 1,000 kids out here. But I want to go by myself with you. I don't want to take my kids, my grandchildren. I want to do it with you. Finally, I'm going to have this man. Thank you all.
Okay, so we have one last thing. My dad has been in service here at the University of South Carolina for 27 years. We want to give him an experience that he has never had in his life. And so it's a lofty goal, but I think we have a lot of people in here, and so we could get it done. And so what I need from you is to go to the GoFundMe page and do $27 for 27 years. And if we all do that collectively, our job is to get my mother and my father to Cape Town, Africa, doing a safari. That is our goal. And just like my dad is a believer, I say you put it out into the universe and it can get done. Okay, you have to believe. And so all I ask is that each of you just go ahead and make that contribution. We do have little QR codes around here. So if you don't have the GoFundMe from Facebook, you can just look around and you can find the QR code so that you can give to this experience. And now, for the man of the hour.
Hey, it's been too long. I knew it was going to be like, I get to 5 minutes. But, yeah, Danny, I will accept it. I am. I'm embracing or starting to. It's difficult. 12 hours after you get home and you get up the next morning, you walk the dogs and you got 12 hours. What do you do? I never had a hobby. I don't play golf. I don't play tennis. I read the Bible, some, but 12 hours? 12 hours? I don't like soap operas. So, how much TV game shows how many times can you watch Steve Harvey? You know, I try my best. I see it, I listen, and I got a man cave. She comes to the man cave. She changes the TV to... So I'm learning. I'm working on it. My son brought me a Winnebago at 1 o'clock in the morning, Monday, and parked it in the back and said, "Here, Dad, you got a Winnebago." I don't ain't dry. I don't want to go see no place else. This sport has taken me every place but Africa. It has. But I ain't gonna beg. We're gonna do that. I ain't never been that kind of dude. It bothered me when they said they were gonna do this GoFundMe thing. That's what people do that really in need. But I'm only accept what my daughter says. I'm learning how to do that. I'd rather beg for Frye Foundation for diabetes and mental health and mental illness. And God has supplied me with you. I'm really. I know your times when you were in high school. I know your struggles. I know your father's background and your mother's background, and when it was there or when it wasn't there. I know when you had funerals. That's what makes us up. Louise and Buster. Some of these people in here know who Louise and Buster was. If I was anything less than what I am, Aunt Anna Lou, it would be so bad. Miss Geneva, I couldn't disappoint y'all. Everybody here saying, "Oh, Kurt, man, he's this and that." No, I'm just the salt that came from Vass. Yeah, I'm just that plain guy that Buster and Louise took and planted. If I was anything other than what we have here tonight, if I had been anything different at John Curtis down at Union Pine, if I'd have went down to Douglasbury High School and been a bad teacher or touched a child the wrong way or been somebody that abused a person, Louise couldn't accept me being that way. Y'all couldn't have read it. I couldn't. If I'd have messed up and been married and had children by somebody else, Louise couldn't. Buster, they couldn't do it. If I'd be a different example for you, if I was something different, if I didn't go to church and try to take you to church with me and stuff, Louise would be disappointed. If I didn't go to Kevin Brown's daddy's funeral, Louise and Buster would have been disappointed. If I didn't go with Mike Sargent up to his mama or his daddy or Coach D when her daddy passed, they'd be disappointed. So I hope I ain't disappointed mom and daddy. Hey, when I look at the people that came from 80 years worth of family reunions in Sanford, North Carolina, that I go to, my favorite person is 92 years old. She's my mother-in-law. The worst thing that I have done is not be able to be at high school reunions and to be at my cousins' and nephews' funerals. I just lost two. I went to a funeral and I saw a high school history of the life of a person who I didn't know the value of what there was. I saw them as they were a high school kid when they were doing things that I didn't believe. They was being not a good person. And I found out that person turned out to be a solid Sunday school teacher that just raised a granddaughter to go on and do wonderful things. And I said, you know what? Retirement's going to help me have a chance to go see people where they are, not where they were.
Yes.
Yeah. All of y'all are one place, but you got another place to be. If I've had a chance for you to be where you are, yeah, some people who knew you then will hold you for then. They don't know you now. You're a mother, you're a father, you're a principal, you're a fireman, you're a chief fireman, man. You're a first responder, not a lone jumper. You saved lives and you just pulled a little boy out of the fire. No. If they had to say that you were that guy riding up the hill in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania that didn't know nothing, couldn't even know how to, who you were. It ain't who you were, it's the life. And I hope that I get judged. I want to be judged. Yeah, I do, Miss Gibbs. I want to be judged. I want to be judged by the life that I lived. The only person I got secrets from is Wilma. She's looking at me pretty hard. She asked me what the secret was. No. That baby's put up with so much. And y'all are right. If you ain't got somebody that's won't put up with something with you, don't give up on them. Stay with them. One thing Louise and Buster say, don't quit. If you start it, don't quit. I knew when she was in the 9th grade and that meant I was in the 11th. I proposed to her. Didn't. My brother did the wrong thing. He hit somebody. And my wife said she deserved it. And me and him got in a fight. Because Daddy, you don't do that. I don't care what the person did to you. So she came and got in my face and said, she deserved it. She's just always in people's face. And I pulled her aside and I hugged her real tight. I heard your birthday is October 20th. My birthday is October the 20th. And pulled it, and then we walked down the hall. Next day I went to her locker, and I said, we're gonna get married. And she said, when? A few years later, she said, on Sunday, the first Sunday that October 20th is on Sunday. My senior year in college, which at that time was 6 years later. I forgot about it. Christmas time, she said, you know what Sunday is? What's Sunday? October 20th? She said, this year. Oh, man. And I said, oh. She said, you remember what you said? Wait a minute, we've been going along pretty good here. It's 6 years in. We dating. I've been to family reunions. I know your mom and dad. Ain't nobody mad at me. And she said, well, if you don't know, I need to look at my options. I kind of got a little stirred by that, so I said, what that mean? So we broke up for about 2 weeks. And I kind of thought about that, and I said, that means she's going to talk to somebody else. So I kind of changed my mind and decided out. And so I wrote a letter. It was called "Very Pretty Girl" by Jerry Butler. I copied it. She hadn't heard it. She wouldn't talk to me. She was back in her room, and her grandmother came out, and I brought the letter with me. I was going to give her the letter, and I said that would win her over, but she wouldn't take the letter. She's back there crying, get him out of the house. And I talked to Granny, and Granny let me go back. I handed her the letter. She read the letter. I went out and sit in the living room. She came out, and I said, here's a ring, and it became history. I have to say that to say, yeah, don't quit. You're going to have struggles, and I'm quitting. I'm getting ready to stop. Life is struggles. Don't quit. A job is a struggle. Don't quit. Running a lap is a struggle. Don't quit. Staying with your children and fighting it, don't quit. I don't care. You don't quit. You fight, you make them quit. I make trouble quit. I make evil feel uncomfortable. I don't mind being in the presence of wrong. I ain't going to be wrong, but you're going to feel uncomfortable. Because I'm going to do right in your presence. So this is my mission to you. This is my end goal. To see you make evil be uncomfortable. Right now, most of this room is full of African Americans, and most of them are women. I want you to make people understand people can be treated fairly and equally, no matter their colors. That's a goal of mine, to make sure all the persons that were not black or not American feel like they won't get the same shot that somebody's done. So that the lie that people would tell them that if you're in charge and you're a black person, that you're going to make this thing where nobody, only black people get a fair shot. No, not going to happen. Now, hey, you can feel how you want, but it don't have to be true. I don't mind people saying things about me. Never have. Don't bother me. Because what you say don't mean what I did. As long as I do what is right, what you say don't mean nothing to me. It means something when I do wrong and you say something about me. The truth, you got to know the truth. And if it's to be, y'all just joined the family now. If it's to be, who can?
I can.
Who can be a good man?
I can.
Who can be a good parent?
I can.
Who can be a good person?
I can.
Who can be a good Christian?
I can.
What's to do?
Let's do it.
What's to do?
Let's do it.
What's to do?
Let's do it.
Turn up that music. My wife said let you slide. Turn up that music. Who can? What's to do? Get it done! Coach Carter. Where is Coach Carter? Where is my coach, the first coach that took my girlfriend in the 4th grade? He came to high school as a star. Where's Coach Carter? Where is Coach Carter? Is he in here? 84 years old. That's my 4th grade. That's my 4th grade girlfriend right down there. He came to school and he took my girlfriend. And he's still coaching at 84 years old. He holds all the records because ain't nobody in his age group still competing. Hey, Coach Carter, he's a triple jumper. You know how far he jumped? 5 feet.
Oh my.
Go ahead and tell him something.
Oh my God. We go back.
You don't have nothing.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
I said it all.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
guys,
That's crazy.
thank you. Is there anything else that we need to say? Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Want to bless you. Let us say a prayer. Father in heaven, thank you for this opportunity to bring us together. Let our health stay strong. Let us be a role model and example for the world to see. Let this room go forth and do the things that you would have us to do. Let us touch lives. Let us be role models and examples for the world. For the world is waiting for us that are Christians, so that we be examples for those that are not. For they would have some hope in the world. So go forth with us, lead us not to temptation, and bless us. And tomorrow I'll see you all at New Ebenezer Baptist Church. Amen.